Yes,
We should do it.
please.
All right, we're doing it.
Yep.
We're going live. Oh my goodness. Welcome everyone to our mastermind group for Monday, the 1st of February. So in D-base code, that's 20210201. That's today, 2021 or 201. It's a new month. 1 month of 2021. How was it? 2021, January, right? It happened.
Great.
That's over,
Great.
right? Yeah.
Fast.
Janet, tell me what was great about it for you, Janet?
Oh, what was great was that I got a little fire. I'm working on starting my Etsy store. Well, I had a lot of things I found that didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
I thought they would. So
learning.
now I am working on my on some that will work. And today comes a package I've been waiting for. So I can do some of my suminagashi, which is a Japanese marbling technique, and I can offer that on my Etsy store. And I'm working on my pop-up Valentine card and sending out my envelope to people so that they can make sure it works right.
My goodness, Janet, you know stuff.
I do know stuff.
You know,
Yeah.
and you know more stuff than you knew on January 1st, right? So now it's February 1st. So you got a couple of distinctions on certain, I suppose, Etsy things that aren't going to bear fruit in this case, but you didn't know that before, and you know that now. It's because you did on purpose action throughout January.
I did.
That's right.
I did. I tested. I went to a paper person and I got 8 different kinds of papers he gave me, and he was generous. So I got to try this and try that and try something else. And, like I said, found a lot of things that didn't pan out the way I thought they would. So now I know that doesn't happen. And there are other things to do and other processes to use. And I'm finding what will and what won't. And I've been doing a lot of research on Etsy to see who sells what and for what price and how they say it and all of those kinds of things.
Right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, and I would imagine most people watching right now, whether it's you're here in our group or you're just seeing this on YouTube, you may have no interest in Etsy. That's fine. The point is that Janet is just one specimen of a person who decided to learn stuff and do stuff for the sake of furthering herself, her enterprise, and part of becoming successful is learning what not to do. So fantastic, Janet. I think we had, let's see here, was it Ivier who was going to share a win with us here to kick off February? Ivier, do you have a win that you wanted to share as a result of your participation here doing all this?
Yes. So I put on my battle board that I wanted to have my own space. I wanted my own place. And I described it. I wanted it to be a 2-bed, 2-bath, all wooden flooring, top floor apartment. I mean, I literally wrote everything down. The only thing I probably didn't write down was a specific area, but I knew that I didn't want to move too far out of where I am now. And so I've been searching, and I have used John as a point of contact. Every time you spoke about moving, I soaked up everything you said when you were doing your move. And another mutual friend we have, when they were moving, I keyed into that. And Bill, when you spoke about selling your mom's home and getting that gorgeous flat, I keyed into that and I just took all the energy on. And so I've been viewing now for maybe a week or so, like really hard, seeing 3 or 4 places every day. The very first thing I saw was great, but I thought it was on the small side for what they were asking for. I got on really well with the landlord. And so that was a backup option. But then I went to view a place after lunch on Saturday. You do not find properties like this in London.
Yeah, pictures?
Just think you are in the country and it's a long drive to get to that. I mean,
Wait a minute, London's a major metropolis. That's not the country, right? What are we talking
exactly.
about? Look at
not.
this.
So
look at this
Can you
place.
see this?
You gotta
These
be
are the
kidding me.
grounds.
That's in London?
Yes, yes. It is 15 minutes away from where I currently live in my car.
Wow.
So these are the grounds. This is the front of the building.
Yeah.
And so there are apartments in here. It's just amazing. So this is a living room, obviously with bare furniture. Yeah, this is what the living room looks like. This is the kitchen. This is the master bedroom. This is one of the bathrooms, so family size bathroom. And this is the ensuite. So this is what's going to be attached in master bedroom.
All right.
But
Party
yeah,
at Ivier's. Party at Ivier's.
yeah.
That's it.
So this is
I
it.
think we could fit a few of us on the lawn and still
Exactly. We could have a picnic.
Right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
My
Thank
friend.
you.
Well done. Well done. I see Neil and Jane or Jane are here with their hand raised. Hey, Neil, you got to win the share as we kick off February. Jane, Neil, no, yes, no. All right. I saw your hand up. You can come on out if you want.
Yep.
There she
Hi.
is. Hey, Jane.
Hello. There we are. I'm going to speak today. Yes, there seems to be a theme running through here with houses. We bought a house on Saturday afternoon as well.
Congratulations. You got pictures? Not handy?
No.
No? Okay.
But yeah, we've been looking for, we sold our bungalow that we live in at the moment a couple of weeks ago. We sold our other house that we had as well. We've put the two together. We're going to buy another property. And we've been all over the place looking for different types of bungalows. So it has to be a bungalow. And we were just getting a little bit despondent, thinking, are we ever going to find anywhere that we really, really want to move to? And Neil said Saturday morning, why not ring that one that's up for sale in East Preston, which is just down the road from where we live, to see if they'll let us view it today. So we rang them, said, yes, you can come along at 2:00. So we went along. Okay, it needs a bit of work doing to it, but that's fine. We don't mind that. And we thought, well, in order to get our names sort of registered and in their mind's eye, we'll go home. We'll put a cheeky little offer in. They won't accept it because it's cheeky, but they have to come back to us. If somebody else puts an offer in, that's how it works, and you play off each other. Anyway, we did that. We came home. I rang, put a little offer in, and the estate agent said, okay, that's fine. I'll go back to the vendor and see what they say. Half an hour later, he comes back and said, well, if you up that by $5,000, it's yours, and we'll take it off the market today. And we're like, what? Really?
Wow.
If that's not a win, I don't know what is.
Oh my goodness. Well done. Congratulations, Neil and Jane. Well
Very
done.
exciting. And what's good about it is I've been visualizing a bigger garden with somewhere I could put a little unit to work from home in, with like a little nice insulated summer house, say. And this garden is perfect.
Wow.
It's perfect for that.
Congratulations. Oh, we can't wait to see pictures.
Thank you.
Wow. Look at this, everybody. In case you haven't noticed, our theme is new beginnings and starting with wins, right? So that's where we're going with our conversation today. Jamie's got his hand up. Jamie Young, what's going on, brother?
Hi, everybody. I'm going to stay here off the video because, just haven't cleaned up yet this morning.
Okay.
So we're talking about real estate wins, and I my daughter, I'm a single parent, as I think you all know. My daughter's mom and her husband are building a house, and it happens to be just over the line outside of her current school district. So I'm a renter because I wanted my daughter not to have to spend her last 4 years of school in a new high school, new friends. I just thought that would be just devastating for her. So I rented a house in a neighborhood, literally a 5-minute walk from her high school. I had rented this when she became a freshman. So I just thought, my lease is up in April. And I thought, instead of having to fight and deal with the pressure and the stress, I just, on a whim, sent an email out to the property manager and said, hey, look, I'll stay here for 2.5 more years. You can re-up the lease for 2.5 more years, but I believe for that type of commitment, I would like to see, it would be my wish that you would keep the rent frozen, because everybody typically that rents, their rent can tend to go up a little bit if you're in houses. It just depends. So I just kept my fingers crossed, and I got an email on Saturday morning, and lo and behold, yes, we would love to have you in here for the next 2.5 years, and the rent will stay the same. So, you could see anything from 100 to 200. Depends on the market, but so that's so she gets to go to school, still the same school. I don't see any rent increase, and don't have to move, which is just god awful, as everybody knows. So that was a real estate win for me, and my story.
Well done. Congratulations, Jamie. And so in this market that we're in right now, which people have a lot of opinions about, we just saw on the real estate side anyway, we're seeing three different examples of what may seem like unlikely wins, right? Like, why wouldn't they want the rent increase? Well, maybe they appreciate having the stability of a sane and productive individual, in that property, right? What's that worth, right? What problems don't they have because Jamie's in there, right? And then when we look at what Neil and Jane over in England just experienced, look, those who ask get, those who don't ask don't get, and while many others may have expected, you know what, I shouldn't even put a bid in on this because they'll never take it, and so they didn't act, they didn't reach, right, because of their own pessimism, I suppose, right? Or their, assumptions. Assumptions are dangerous, right? They didn't get that property, right? I would have never suspected that Ivie would be moving into, this castle or whatever you call this thing. But don't we get contrast? I mean, here's the thing. Ivie was talking about how she had pictured, like the sort of conditions that she wanted, the situation, and this thing materialized, and it's only 15 minutes down the road. Perfect, right? Perfect. But again, the idea that, she asked for that, maybe not, using the words and saying, hey, this is what I want, but in a way, she thought on these things, which is asking, right? There's a, pretty influential guy once said, ask and it shall be given you, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you, right? He had some influence, and so how do you ask? How do you ask, right? I think about this as it relates to what I've been doing in my own life, and since it's February 1st, as these words are coming out of my mouth, as we're winding down winter, right? Tomorrow is my favorite holiday, right? Which is very symbolic of new season, right? So in case anyone doesn't know, because it's just an American thing, it's not even really a holiday. It's just some BS that somebody made up, and we've been running with it for 100 years. It's Groundhog Day. So tomorrow's Groundhog Day. So tomorrow, talking about real estate, the groundhog is going to come out of his real estate. He's going to come out of the ground. He's going to look around, and if he sees a shadow, well, he's going to go back underground. We'll get another 6 weeks of winter. All right. Meteorologists don't agree on this, but anyway, who cares what they think? They can't agree on anything anyway. When have they ever had a correct weather report? All right. So, but if the groundhog doesn't see his shadow, well, then we're going to have an early spring. Okay. So you can bank on that too. One of the reasons it's a favorite day of mine is because it is truly just BS. It's just something that people made up for fun. You don't have to go out and spend $10,000 on gifts. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to remember it's Groundhog Day. Groundhog doesn't give a damn what you think. Okay, so I really like Groundhog Day. It's a time of rebirth, renewal. Of course, we could say the same about Easter and all the springtimey kind of stuff, bunnies jumping around, groundhogs, whatever. Very auspicious, because we make it auspicious, because we say, you know what, January just ended. And it was just a month ago where we were like, 2020 just ended. Yay. All right, so now we're going to do 2021. Guess what? 1 out of 12 months down. All right. So can we create an auspicious meaning predestined for success, like good omens, very good indicators, this is definitely going to work, right? Auspicious. Can we create an auspicious environment and expectation for ourselves? Can we hit the reset button? We've talked about doing this before. Can we hit the reset button whatever the calendar says, right? I'm just going to use Groundhog Day as an auspicious day. Wow, how perfect. It's a good omen or something. It doesn't mean anything except for what I say it means. And so in this case, we heard a few examples where people have decided what they wanted. They asked, right? Whether it's, verbally or putting in the bid or intending, right? Ask and it shall be given you. How do you ask? You get into that vibration. You get on that frequency with the good that you want. You expect it. You expect it to show up in your life. We tend to get what we expect. So in contrast, we can also say, that here's someone who I knew it wouldn't work. I knew I wouldn't get that deal. I knew that, right? I see Janet laughing, right? So Janet, she has expectancy around, succeeding with, in this case, some Etsy stuff that she's doing. So does that mean that she looks at these January instances, whatever these iterations of doing business on Etsy was, as failures, and now I'm downtrodden, nothing will work? No, look at Janet. She's up, she's bright, right? She's moving forward. She's learned. She's sharpened her saw. She knows what not to do. This is good. So more important than what happens to us is between stimulus and response, like the book we're reading, Steve Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, right? We can be proactive. So in between stimulus and response, here's what happened to me, and here's my power of choice, and then my response. So between stimulus and response, all right, so here's what this means. So you see, we're always adding meaning to stuff. And another great reminder that the groundhog gives me. It's like, well, if I go back in the hole, it means this. If I don't go back in the hole, it means that. Who made that up? The groundhog did. The groundhog has no idea what you're talking about. Okay. But people add meaning to stuff. We're constantly adding meaning. What does it mean? Because stuff, it's got to mean stuff, right? Well, good luck with that. And sometimes that serves us, right? Sometimes that serves us if we're intending and if we're expectant. Yes, if we're expectant. Oh, because I expected to get the flat at the castle right outside of London. Because of that, I saw the castle just outside of London, says, the mind of Vivier. Because that's what she was looking for. Seek and ye shall find, right? Had she not been seeking that, she could have drove past the place and not even know what it was. Oh, that must be, where the Sir Lancelot or somebody lives. Who the hell knows, right? It's England. And maybe that was where Sir Lancelot. I don't know. It doesn't look like new construction. But the idea is that we tend to experience life based on our expectations. Kind of holds water. Now we can look at exceptions, of course, right? People can say, "Oh, well, no, John, I wasn't expecting this, disaster. Who was expecting COVID?" Right? And yet, even in the face of that, people who were expecting their business to expand. One of the companies I work with, we had our best year ever. After decades, stats just going through the roof with COVID, right? So, all right. Well, then I guess maybe I should be a bit more, I don't know if open-minded is the word, but maybe expand my gaze, maybe survey more of the scene rather than just what I allow circumstances to fixate my attention on. Problem. And then I expect problem. Right? Maybe I survey the scene and I see, what, there is, contrast here. There is, this unfortunate circumstance, but there's also these possibilities. And so like the groundhog, right? I can add meaning to whatever circumstance, right? I got the deal. I didn't get the deal. The Etsy thing worked. The Etsy thing didn't work, right? That property took my bid. That property rejected my bid, right? Great news. There's a whole lot more to the scene than just that one circumstance. So what I'm looking to do, and this is something that I've struggled with for some time now. There's a saying that the universe is conspiring toward my greater good. The universe is conspiring to deliver to me all my goals right on schedule. Has anyone ever heard that? So in other words, you're not in this alone, but in fact, the universe is friendly. The world is friendly. The circumstances are friendly to your purposes. And I've struggled with that because I can fixate my attention on, the groundhog saw his shadow, more winter, right? Or whatever. I can add meaning to what I would consider uncongenial circumstances. And you say, look, did you see that? There's proof the universe is not conspiring to my greater good. No, the universe is against me. I must fight. That's easy. I can do that easy. So how do I guess this is a question for the group. How do you get yourself into a state of expectancy? Hit that reset button. Yes, we just had a blunder. We just had a negative problem. We had whatever. Okay. But just like Janet was saying, all right, well, that is on the path to to this great good that I seek, right? How do we do that and keep our emotional state and our expectancy up that, yes, the universe is conspiring toward a greater good, right? To even be able to say something like, oh, COVID, man, what a great circumstance to increase the stats in this product line that we're, right? Which is exactly what we've seen in some enterprises, in some instances. Yes. Right. And yes, there's a dark side to that as well. But what I'm saying is, can we resonate more on the bright side? For me, that takes effort. Right. I don't do tra-la-la, tiptoe through the tulips and you know, the universe is friendly to me and unicorns and rainbows. Right. My brain, the way it works and the conditioning that I grew up in and all the stuff that I get to deal with every day, it is a conscious effort for me to remember, oh, rebirth, renewal, the groundhog, yay, or fill in the blank with whatever circumstance gives me evidence. You see, I have to actively seek evidence that what I want is coming to me right on schedule. I have to actively seek evidence. I don't have to do anything to grow weeds in my garden. Weeds just grow. The weeds blow in. Here comes the seeds and everything, and I got weeds all over the place. So for me, and maybe for you, it's an active, conscious decision to seek evidence that the universe is conspiring toward my greater good. What do you guys think about that? Is that something that are you lucky? Are you blessed with just how fortunate for you that you're always positive and upbeat and you don't recognize obstacles, you only recognize opportunities, right? Or do you have to make an effort for that? I'll tell you, I've been efforting in that direction and meditating and doing all the stuff, right, that I do to keep myself sane, arguably, for decades, because I know what the dark side looks like. I know what John's brain run amok, what that looks like. It's not good. Not good for me, not good for anybody. And good news is that I've been able to confront, that shortcoming. And I'm like, oh, John, you're a crazy person. You need to read some philosophy, man. You need to get into like a mastermind group and do a book study and talk to other sane people to remind you that, hey, it's, life works, so keep showing up, man. What do you guys think about this? I see Bill, who's got his hand up. And then I heard Virginia, I'm not sure if she wanted to speak, but Bill, you've got your hand up. Bill, how do you stay sane and expectant? Yes, expectant of the great good that you're
asking me?
Yes, sir. Yes. Mentor me, damn it. Mentor me.
I'm the most insane guy you'll ever meet.
Well, that's why I love you, man. That's why we resonate. You don't want to see what goes on in his brain. Oh, no.
No, definitely not. I can relate to what you're saying, John, about not going back to that other brain, because it's not a nice place to be. And it's certainly not nice for anybody else, I can tell you that. I guess what you're saying there, I mean, you look for evidence for it. Mm-hmm. I guess we're all curious when we have wishes and dreams and things. We'd like to see, oh, can I have this now? Can this manifest itself now? Or how long I've got to wait? And you're ticking down the days, the hours, or whatever, and you think, oh, this is never going to work. But what I found is, don't think about it. Just, it'll happen. And mm-hmm. That's what's happened to me this last while. Everything that I've written down for affirmations, be it that or on vision board, it's all happening slowly but surely, and I am doing nothing about it as far as I'm aware. And I think that's the best way, because it makes things that little bit more sensible for you. Yeah, I mean, it's great to hear Evie and Neil and Jane on that there with their wins, and Jamie's. I mean, that's positive. That is a positive thinking on their part. So it is, and it's keeping that in your head that you can be positive, and it's keeping yourself on the right track. Is counter. It's not counter. It's the right angle to look at everything from. If you can keep yourself focused on what you need, it'll arrive. It doesn't matter what you say. And I think it was maybe Kim or maybe Virginia a while back had said that sometimes we dream too small. Yeah, I can relate to that. The bigger the dream, the more likely it is to happen, is the way that I can see it at present. One of my affirmations was that I would, as Ego and Evie and everybody else keeps saying to me, is money's attracted to me. Well, last week I got handed buy a family relative another 20 or 30,000 pounds towards what I'm doing, free of charge, out of the blue, totally gobsmacked. Where did that come from?
Wow.
So that's the sort of thing that is happening and will happen to everybody if you put your mind to it. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm blown away by this stuff happening, but it's once you get that focus going, you can't lose.
Beautiful. Thank you, Bill. And look, without even pre-planning or anything, you just shared a win, right? So all we're hearing today is wins, which is what? Which is evidence for me. Here I am, the first day of the month, and wow, what an auspicious month! Wow, this is going to be a great month. Look at all the people and all the winning that's happening right out of the gate, right? We didn't even have to do anything. So well done, Bill, on the 30,000 pounds and whatever business capital you required. Ivier, right? Janet, right? So we find the evidence to reinforce our innermost beliefs and expectations. I think of it sometimes like, and Bill, Bill, I don't know if you've read my first book, Integrity is Everything. Yes,
I have.
Cool.
I have.
And there's, I think it's chapter 4, 3 magic words, right? Be, do, and have. And so I introduced the idea of watching the end of the movie, right? So the triumphant conclusion of the movie. I haven't seen the rest of the movie, but the end of the movie, the dragon is slain and the princess is saved, and all right, everybody wins, right? That's nice. And now I go back and I watch the movie from the beginning, and all the drama, all the seeming, hardships and the things that make the movie interesting. I'm not attached to it because I already know the ending. I already know that the protagonist shall prevail, right?
Yeah.
And so that's how I would like to be more consistent in my thinking, right? Is like, you know what? I know this is being delivered right on schedule. And yes, sometimes, deferred gratification, that's fine. Okay. But when I'm in the thick of it, can I remember that light at the end of the tunnel is real, that guaranteed future outcome? Yeah. And I don't know the plan. I don't know the drama that leads up to it. The 30,000 pounds, the castle in England.
I mean, Maid Marian there is going to be well made when she takes up residence there. There will be a royal standard flying outside, no doubt, so that we know when she's in residence.
That's
but
great.
I mean, don't get me wrong, and nobody please get me wrong. The journey's not easy, and I've had a shit journey. And I apologize for swearing, but that's as clean as I'm going to be on it.
Right.
But it is remaining focused is the key to it all, John. You cannot waver. And even though you still get flattered by bricks and bottles being thrown at you metaphorically, your focus is still there. So it doesn't really matter. They start to bounce off you. So you don't have to worry about them. You don't have to worry about the challenges. You will face them head on and just go, okay, let's deal with this.
Right. So, hey, Bill, one more question before we let you go, and then we're going to hear from Ivier. Is that a Scottish chair that you're sitting in? Is that like a kilt pattern or something? What is that?
Yeah, this is my baronial home. So
yeah.
I didn't like to say to Ivier in case you got jealous.
That's great. Good stuff. Thank you, Bill. All right, Ivier, you got the floor. What's going on?
I mean, I was listening to Jane speak, and, cheeky is really the word. And, sometimes you just have to push that envelope so it gets better, this place right now. Most places you move into, they're going to ask you for a security deposit, right? If you're renting, they're going to ask you for the bells and whistles. And in some cases, you're almost putting down 2 months rent by the time they've added all, everything they want for security terms. And when I went on Saturday with the agent, the landlord gave us access, right? And I just said, you know what, I'm going to ask the question. What's the worst that can happen? He's going to say no. And I know that there's a scheme out there where, because the government wants people to move and, just to help people reduce the costs of moving, there's a scheme where you can actually move into a place without paying a security deposit. And so I asked him, I said, look, I'm going to be honest, right? I'm going to be living here on my own, no pets, no whatever. It's just me. I just need the space because I'm working from home more now and I've got a business, I just got to set everything up properly. And I said, what do you think about the no deposit scheme? And immediately he said, look, I've had a bad experience, with it in the past, some tenants, but he said, look, I've met you. Our conversation's been great. I kept you waiting. It was initially meant to be a 1:00 viewing. He moved it to 2, moved it to 3:30, moved it to 3:45. And when I met him, I didn't give him attitude. I didn't say, how could you keep me waiting? None of that. I just acted like nothing had happened. I was, very calm, very courteous. It was a pleasant conversation. And so he said that it's amazing the conversation we've had. We've hit it off right off the start. And it's just been pleasant meeting you, that I would be open to considering that idea, right? That even though I've had a bad experience, having met you, it's something I would consider. And so we walked through the property and I was asking, could I do this? Could I do that? And he said, look, it's your space. Provided you don't go down knocking walls or whatever, make it the home you want it to be, right? And he said, look, I'm a very attentive landlord. If there's anything you need, an extra chair, an extra bit of storage, whatever, let me know. I'll sort it out. So this was this guy going above and beyond. And I said, look, I'm happy where I am now. I've got to the end of the month, end of February, so I'm not in a hurry to move. If you need extra time to get the painting done, whatever else you need, changing the light fittings to LED, whatever, take all the time you need. I've got the whole month, right? I can work with you on this. Do you know when I left, he had already agreed to no security deposit. Now, this property has a gym, and apparently the gym is out of this world. Ego knows the property, and she said, look, you will love the gym. I hadn't seen the gym. I knew it had a gym. And he said, look, if you're as active as you are, you will like the gym. Then they have this, and this is just bizarre. They have a shuttle service to the train station that's 10 minutes walk away. A free shuttle service. Who cannot walk 10 minutes to the train station? And I just thought to myself, this is a property that keeps on giving. But if I didn't ask, if I didn't, if I wasn't courteous, if I didn't give him, the benefit of that, if I didn't say, you know what, life happens, because he was fixing something in one of his other properties. That's why he kept moving the time. And I said, you know what, stuff happens, right? You had to see to another property. And if you've got tenants in there, that's an emergency for them. So take all the time you need. I was happy to wait because I thought this property was worth viewing. And I'm pleased that I waited, and I'm pleased I could see it with you, right? So I just turned everything on its head. And he is now giving the agent updates as to what he's doing in preparation for me moving in. So I've had 2 emails from him today to say, really looking forward to, he was giving me tips on the best restaurants to go in the area. It's bizarre. I don't know this guy from a bar of soap. He's already talking about, when you make so-and-so meal, invite me round because I would want to taste that. And I'm thinking, is his name Jeeves? Is this Jeeves? No. No. So, but if I hadn't pictured this, if I wasn't clear on what I wanted, other agents would have, twisted my arm into accepting other stuff. But because I knew what I wanted the wooden floors, I wanted the 2 rooms, I wanted the 2 bathrooms, I wanted mine en suite, I wanted lots of storage space. I was really, really clear. And every time an agent came up with something that did not meet my spec, I simply said, I'm not going to waste time viewing that because I gave you the list of things that are non-negotiable. It's got secured parking for my car. It's got visitors parking. It takes even things I didn't think about, right? And I'm just amazed. The agent, the landlord, it's just been an amazing experience. It's been a while since I've hunted for property, but if this is anything to go by, I'm not moving for a long time to
That's
come.
beautiful.
It's
got everything and more. It's got plumbing, electricity, right? Gravity, right? Gravity's free. No extra charge.
So I just want to say thank you to you, John, because just being in this space, being in this environment, the book studies, the conversations we're having, I think just keeps us on our toes, keeps us in that raised vibration. So when we go out there, it doesn't matter how bad things are happening. We know that every day we can press the reset button and as many times during the day as we need to and just start over. So we don't take the crap from one conversation to the next. I could have met this guy and been a snobby little brat, right? But I just thought, you know what? It's okay. Life happens. And just by me being amenable to him and just being, courteous and whatever, this is what I got out of it. I wasn't expecting to get that because it didn't say anything on the site about the no deposit, but I asked anyway and I got it, right? So guys, this stuff works. Let's do it. Let's make spectacles of ourselves. So thank you so much, John.
You know what, Lavenia, you are advancing in life and you are attracting circumstances to help you demonstrate your advancement. So congratulations, my friend.
Thank you, John.
That is beautiful. I did see when you were like, who couldn't walk 10 minutes? I did see Jamie Young crying about that a little bit, me and that London weather. So I don't know. Jamie's over there in the Washington, Oregon area. It's just like London weather, isn't it? Who else we got? We got Rick Crispin. Jamie, you have a comment, and then we'll go to Rick.
I was just in the other room and I heard that. I thought I got thrown under the bus. That's okay. But I said I have to deal with this Oregon weather, so that would be me. I'm not going to do it again. That's all.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, I'm going to see you in Phoenix here pretty soon. So,
yep.
Although it's like we got clouds today. It's like
I know. I'm coming down to later today.
Oh man! All right. Well, welcome to the desert.
Yep.
Yeah, it's today 75 degrees and partly cloudy. So deal with that. Rick, you're up. How you doing, brother?
Best day yet. How are you?
Hello, good. I can hear you well too. Better microphone.
Oh, good. Yeah, I changed that out. So there's two things that I think are constants, and one is that I go by is timing is everything, and the second is attitude. And EVA, if you didn't have the right attitude, you wouldn't be talking about that flat that you're getting. Because if you had the wrong attitude, he wouldn't even agree to anything and probably would have just dismissed you straight away. So timing and attitude are real big things with me. And I noticed that if there's something that I want and it hasn't happened fast enough for me, and I say, I'm not going to get that job, or that trip's not coming when I want. And then I think that's not the right thing to say. And I switch it around and I just say, well, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. And doggone it, if what I really wanted and thought I wasn't going to get, doesn't it show up? Just maybe perhaps only because I changed my attitude from I'm not going to get that job to, if I get it, fine. So that's the reason I look at or say timing is everything. And second is attitude comes right behind that.
Thank you. So it's like a bit of flippancy. So an elevated, spirit and emotional state, you can be a little bit unattached, right? Yeah. Although right now I've got my attention fixated on that pink square at the bottom center of your frame. I don't know what that is, but there's a pink square. Does everybody else see that, or is it just me? There it is. Wow. Okay.
This is a little bit of sticky tape that I put on there so that when I've got two cameras, so if I don't have the primary camera in, people can't. I once received an email from somebody that said, I have your password and I have your picture. Would you like to see it?
Oh, please. Yeah.
Scary
Send me
stuff,
Bitcoin,
so.
right? Send Bitcoin.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's what he asked for, but I ignored it. So far, so good.
That's great. Yeah, I was getting mesmerized by your pink square. Sorry. Let's go to
I thought it was something on my shirt.
Yeah, no. It's good. Where's my friend Allie? She's around here somewhere. Hey, Allie.
Hi, John. Hi, everyone. I just love this. Thank you so much. Yeah, I there's so much evidence from this group, but also in life about how this works. It just truly works. And I think the trusting in the process, trusting in this is scientific. It's so formulaic that we can totally trust in this process and know that if we're totally focused and we just every day walk forward, even though what's around us is nowhere near our goals. I mean, I am so far away from my goals if I look around me, but I am not in my focus and in my determination and in my mind every day. I've got them. And I know that, every step I take, if I continue walking forward, that will get me there. So, I find that trusting in the process, trusting in this scientific formula, and it will work.
Beautiful. Trust. There's another aspect, which we hadn't talked about up until this point, So Ali's talking about trusting the order of the universe, the process, that all roads lead to that triumph, which again, we could say is a very auspicious way to be, right? It's predetermined for success. We know we're going to win, and trusting the process. Now, that doesn't mean that we throw our hands in the air and say, all right, universe, do it for me. No, but we collect evidence, like Ali was just reminding us. Look at all these people who are winning, who are advancing, who are achieving, right? First day of the month. And yeah, there was drama that led up to it, right? That drama was called January, and then December, and then November, right? And the previous decades of your life that led up to this. But we accrue abilities, just like Janet was talking about right at the outset, right? We accrue abilities from our wins and most often from our loses. Oh, look at that, didn't work. Okay, great. Now I know. So again, how auspicious. Ali, thank you for reminding me to trust the process, which again is not something that I was born into doing, right? This is something that I have to be consciously making an effort to do. We are 41 minutes in. We do have no other hands up. We're going to go ahead and wrap up unless somebody else throws their hand in the air or unmutes their microphone on a whim and says something. Now, done. All right. So let's wrap up with that. We do have a full calendar, and let me tell you what's on it when we first look. So we got our hospitality suite. If you want to be hospitalized, no, if you want to be hospitable, we get together all day. You can always show up whenever you want, and that is for all of our members. We do have our e-commerce work group with Evelyn Melendez, Madam Chop Chop, as Ivia has tagged her. That tag seems to be sticking. So that's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, at 5 hours for London. And then we're going to wrap up tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern with the 6th habit of highly effective people from the 7 habits of highly effective people. And of course, that habit is synergize. So we're going to talk about synergy, where, 2 + 2 = 10 or something, right? So exciting chapter. If you haven't gotten through it, get through it so we can have that discussion tonight. Of course, we're also going to discuss it again on Wednesday with Books for Britain, who is just, a couple days behind our American schedule. So that is it for today. I will see you all real soon. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Happy Groundhog Day in advance. And I'll see you guys real soon.